Okay, this is part 2, Vectric software. Fairly simple. We're going to bring it into Vectric. Carve Pro or Aspire will work for this. 24 by 20 by 12, 1.25 deep. Running through this pretty quick. Import the 3D model we just made. And we're going to bring it out. We're going to maximize the size. I like to leave a little bit on the margins. When we do this, I'll create a 3/4 inch margin around it. So I'm changing the depth to 0.85 with a 1.25 board. That gives me 0.4 depth below it. Tends to keep the board from warping. Also allows for keyholes in the back. And I'm just checking to see how the margins look on it. Make sure the corners are good. Make sure it didn't clip anything. Doing a quick check. Once again, checking the bottom to make sure it didn't clip off any of those little curly cues. So here I'm going to start, and this section's a little long. I will trim it up here. But essentially I'm going to go in and I'm going to make a new outline or boundary or whatever you want to call it to clip the excess off of this 3D model. And Vcarve Pro has this function as well. So it'll allow you to create a vector, and you can select the vector and the 3D file. And it's a, and unfortunately I'm not doing this live or I'd show you, but eventually I'll get there. You can click the two together and then you click it, and then you can either click everything outside the, it'll remove everything outside the vector or everything inside the vector. Saving the file quick. And this one's got some, they're not complicated, but there's a lot of odd angles and things. So this is the way I like to do it. There's probably easier ways. I make random circles and things, and I try to make them match the shape as best as you can. And you don't have to be really, really perfect. So I decided to change up here. It was going to be easier to make an arc. So I just made a quick arc that matched it. You can go in and get it where you want it in node edit mode. Inserted a point. Just adjusting the handles of the vector. Make it match a little closer. Just going to show you a little bit of this stuff. Most everybody knows how to do this. But these are nice tools if you've never used them before. Little scissor tool that'll cut the excess off. And if you have the box checked, it will make a nice new Vectric for you. So essentially you go around the whole piece like this, and you make squares and circles and things, and so you have a vector that essentially is the outline of what you want your 3D model to be. And there are a lot of good tutorials on this on the internet that go into way more depth and probably explain it better than I do. Okay, so I basically fly around. I sped this up quite a bit. Fly around to all the corners and make all the shapes you need. Cut out the pieces you don't need. You can also trace it if you want to. You can go through with freehand tool and you can trace it all. whatever makes more sense to you. And there are some 3D tools that'll let you trace some of it, but I've just had better luck doing it this way. So I go around, and once I make one side, I copy the graphic, flip it, and then cut it off and use that section so I don't have to recreate the whole thing. I can kind of just frame it in and make it fit. And that's what I'm doing here. Just making the other side fit. Sorry if I make anybody a little seasick. So here we've got the graphic and we've got the vector, and here we just clipped it. So I clicked both of them, selected the tool down there, centered it. So I always recenter everything when you clip it. Save it. We're going to go ahead and do some tool selection. So you make sure you check your material settings that you're at the very top, because a lot of times you change height, it might accidentally add something, it'll add an inch to the top or something you don't want it to do. You want to make sure that you start at the very top of the work. This is the roughing tool. So I'm using a Beast 1/4 inch. There's all the settings. I'll put some images of those settings at the end of the video so you guys can see them if you want to. Using a Ginny 1/32 radius bit at 100, and I usually bump it up to 175, 180. So there's our two tool paths. We have a 3D roughing and a 3D finish. And once again, there's millions of great videos that go into depth of all the settings and everything you can set there. I do select, so two of the main things I do that are important are when you do your roughings, usually change it, do raster, and then I usually change it opposite of the grain. That way the wood doesn't splinter when it's going back and forth. And then on the finish, I always do raster and set it with the grain, and the lines are a whole lot less and more noticeable that way. So we've got a nice image. I like that. We're going to set up the frame cutout. So we already made a nice vector that we cut the image with. We're going to, I always, use your micrometer, measure the piece, cut to whatever depth you think you need to. I always add a ramp to it. It's going to warn me that I'll cut through. Here's our final image. And a lot of this is leading up to more or less the painting tutorial. So I'm not spending a whole lot of time going into all the software, and I sure would if somebody wanted to know something, but there are some really, really good videos out on this stuff. That looks great. I think that looks really good. So we're going to save it, and we're going to export the tool pass. Make sure your machine's selected. I'm selecting individual pass. Just going to save the tool pass off, the G code, and that's it. Off to the CNC. All right, so here are the images of my tool settings. Roughing, do a 1/4 inch boundary on the outside. 3D raster, 90 degree for the roughing. It's just going to cut against the grain. And this is my tool setup for the Beast roughing tool. 0.35 depth, 46% step over, 145 inches per minute. I usually ramp it up to 180, 190 while it's running. Here is the finishing. It's a Skinny Jenny. Yeah, it's a 1/32 radius bit. There's a ton of those out there. 1/4 inch boundary around the model. There's the specs on that. I usually use anywhere between 8 and 12 on the step over. I run these at 175 or so. That's it. Thanks, guys.